As we descend the poorly lit stairwell at the side of the ship, a tide of panic sweeps over me. My parents and brothers spend the rest of the journey in silence, leaving me to my thoughts, which drift to the coming academic year and my hopes of a career beyond. Perhaps it is selfish for me to want the bourgeois life of a scientist, a so-called gentleman's profession. A life of chemistry, maths, or physics would be a solipsistic existence after all. Yet while the rest of the world is upended by ideology, science remains the last bastion deserving of my faith. From the tiniest atom to the whole of the universe, science pervades every inch. It is the only language we have to make sense of it. At the start of our family holiday to Norway, there were few signs of what would transpire or how it would change the course of our lives. At times like this, when you lose everything you ever knew to be true, all you can do is drive forwards to keep the ghosts at bay. Part 1. Now. Chapter 1. Starry Night. London, January 1951. Every star in the amaranthine universe has a lifespan of its own, which always ends the same way, with those isolated stars coming together again into the collective mass of things. Maybe that is the definition of infinity, a constant loop of time, polarization and unity, with fragments of matter dispersing and going their separate ways before rejoining and recreating, only to begin again. It is the one concept so near to God that no man has understood it. Could the universe be forever folding in on itself, like the infinity sign, in never-ending fractals such as the shoots of a leaf or patterns on ice expanding and shrinking throughout time and space? The Einsteins, Albert and Mileva, have raised the possibility. Like a star, the universe may shine most brightly before it collapses, folding back in on itself and everything around it, then expanding before retracting once more in infinite iterations. What is certain is that the world is faster to turn than many of the individuals in it. The notice board in the tea room is empty except for a couple of brass drawing pins. The shiny tacks are clustered together like constellations. There are few other places to go in the university except for the chapel. The common room is reserved only for the men. Their bluster pours out into the corridor, where they can be heard posturing about politics and sport, or feminine charms. Such loose talk was rife in Cambridge. There was more discretion around intimate encounters and nighttime liaisons in Paris, where I've returned from 4 years working in France's state chemicals lab. There, silence could save you. On my first day in the lab in London, a thick fog descended on the rooftops north of Temple Station. It was nearly a decade since I had left Cambridge's first all-women's college to get a job in industry. Snowflakes were floating on the breeze, and the gravestone paving was slippery with ice. William Waldorf's Gothic mansion, just up from Temple, blended into obscurity on the back streets. A few yards away, the gateway to the university was only just visible through the mist. Once it was an inlet for merchant boats on the River Thames. Now it served as a back entrance for King's College London. The throng of the Strand had moved, by necessity, from the river to the road. Romanesque colonnades were perched incongruously on top of the arch, which plumbed the recesses below ground level. The gate didn't serve a purpose anymore, except as a curiosity. On the other side of the archway was a quadrant of buildings that stood proud like tombstones, yet more vessels to entomb the history of progress. "Have faith, Rosalind," my father said to me as I was leaving home that morning. I had moved back to live with my parents after returning from Paris. Once a founding institution of the University of London and a sister school to University College London, King's College was set up to institute the largely Christian faith. Perhaps it wasn't where my father had expected me to work. His own religious fervour had grown since helping my eldest brother David learn the Torah for his bar mitzvah 2 decades earlier. "I've got plenty of faith, Father. Please let me get on or I'll be late." What I had wanted to say was that you didn't need to be religious to have faith, because faith is just a kind of hope, but one that you believe in instead of wish for. It has the power to knit together the disparate parts of a broken heart.